So let's try this again after my suckage in the last episode. This time, single player
See, this
mode.
jazzy thing. This
Yeah,
is much
don't you like
nicer
it?
than your usual editing.
And using the level set code. By the way, level set code is
I
holding A, B, C, and right on controller 2 while selecting the options menu of controller 1 before starting the game. Now, what were you saying, Allie?
I wouldn't mind if you catch up with the jazz thing. It's much better than your usual editing.
Oh, so I'll make sure to include more of it. I don't know. Do you prefer to jazz, or do you prefer in the Mega Man 2 playthrough where I inserted classical music?
I mean, we're adults, right? We have to acquire a taste for freeform jazz.
I guess so.
If you don't add in freeform jazz when you edit it, I'm gonna be really disappointed.
I am. Don't you worry. But
So, between episodes, we happened across a little thing that was relevant to last episode's topic. Would you care to recount that for
the
us?
Dover Boy. This is the most cynical cartoon I have seen my entire life. There are no happy endings. There is no happiness, and I love it. There is no mercy.
There was a happy ending for Miss Stovepipe.
Yes. You know, after she mercilessly beats up the bad guy who, honestly, you feel kind of bad for him because he's driven to drinking. Except not really, because he's a dick, but at the same time. I can summarize it with a very few words. And you know what those words
Come
are?
on!
Alex, do you know what those words are?
What?
Unhand him, Dan
What?
Backslide. I get it. In the words of Kurt Vonnegut, I finally get the joke.
Unhand them, Dan Backslide. Unhand them, Dan Backslide.
Oh, we were getting into a bit of a rut, it seems.
I think I heard it. No.
Oh man. Oh, man.
That a right? He ever? Oh, he does do it.
Yeah. Man, oh man. Oh, do you notice how I fixed something during this particular episode? Do you notice something black
I did not.
missing from the screen?
Oh!
Can you tell?
There, it's in the cursor.
Can you tell
See,
that?
I didn't notice because it's supposed to be that way.
Yeah. I recorded this after the fact. Actually, about a day after the fact. Not only that, but because I felt like being different, and you can probably tell it's because the voice samples are a little lower quality. But I'm using my actual cartridge version instead of the Sega Classics Collection disc. Just a fun fact there. And as you can guess by the fact that this is the final part, I actually beat it this time. Aren't you proud of me, Alex?
Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure you didn't just rage quit and put in some editing at the end to say so?
I mean, did you not see the end of last part where I game overed? No, I actually did this all in this one run for this part. Granted, using the level select code, but that's because at that point I just had no chill left.
Looks like a nice day outside that window though.
It does. So, Streets of Rage, I think you start something like 9 p.m. By this point, you're at sunrise. So it's literally taking you all night to traverse all 8 stages and get to Mr. X's lair.
Well, I mean, you've walked like 3 miles by now.
That's true. At least. Should I go over what Colin and I were going to try to accomplish if he hadn't had to have gone to work?
What?
So if you do it in 2-player mode, when you get to Mr. X, he asks if you'd like to join him. If you say yes in single-player mode, or both players say yes in 2-player mode, you get sent back to stage 6. If you say no, then you just fight him. That's the final boss. However, in 2-player mode, if one player says yes and the other says no, you fight each other to the death, and then the player that's left standing fights Mr. X himself. And then, instead of saving the day, you take over his evil syndicate.
Oh.
It's a quote-unquote bad ending, and it's a shame we couldn't get it.
Did the sky just shift from purple to green?
It's getting progressively lighter outside as you go through the stage. Which is a nice little graphical effect. But anyways, so, would you want your workplace to look like this building?
I don't think I would.
Is 16 bits just not your thing for a place of work?
See, the problem with that is then you would need to dress formally all the time, or you'd look wrong in there. And I don't want to have to dress formally all the time. I hate dressing formally.
What do you mean? You could just... This guy's not dressed formal.
Well, yeah, but he's obviously not supposed to be there.
You could just dress in a dominatrix costume.
I mean, this is supposed to be your workplace.
I mean, I guess every day is Casual Friday.
Well, yeah, but then it just looks out of place against the super fancy walls and everything.
Hey.
I'd much rather have a more normal looking workplace so I can look normal.
I guess you have a point. So, you mentioned...
I wouldn't mind, like, having a trip to this place, though. So I can go there sometime. That would be nice.
Yeah. So, good question. You said you played that X-Men Arcade game in the last part?
I did.
What was your opinions on it? Granted, you played the iOS port. Did you enjoy it?
It was Nile.
Huh?
It was pretty fun.
Pretty fun?
It was pretty fun.
You know what game I think you would
It
really
wasn't the
enjoy?
best game.
What?
What?
Oh. No, I think next time we hang out that we should play some of the TMNT beat 'em ups, particularly Turtles in Time.
Maybe.
I honestly, that one's, I mean, granted, you could beat the entire game in like less than half an hour, but it's really fun, and especially with 2 players.
Well, you said that about Sonic CD.
Yes, but... Well, yes, but at the same time, I legit... Sonic CD was based off my own personal preferences. Well, and my preferences of pretty much anyone who's ever actually played a Sonic game before. My opinions on Turtles in Time comes
that
more...
part where I haven't played a Sonic game.
My opinions on Turtles in Time come from the fact that I first started playing it having... I mean, I played the Streets of Rage games at that point, but when I first played it, I hadn't really played any other beat-em-ups before, and this was only a couple years ago. And I greatly enjoyed it.
Beat-em-ups are much more straightforward, though.
Indeed they are. Well, that's why I think you can get into it as well. I just hope you don't need a full, like, encyclopedia-length instruction manual for it.
Dang. The difference between that and beat 'em up is the controls on beat 'em up make sense.
Depends on the beat 'em up.
They're easy to use. They make sense, and they're quite easy to pick up.
What is simpler than run, jump, curl into a ball?
All of the things except for that they don't tell you how to do, and it's very hard to figure out how to do.
What things are there to do besides that? Spin dash?
Well, yeah, it took me forever to figure that one out.
Alex.
And the fact that you stop in midair by pressing a button.
What?
I didn't know that.
Ah. You know, I'm not gonna argue, as I'll let the comment section have their way with you. I feel like the audio in this part got desynced again, but that's okay because I can just fix it in editing.
You're dying a lot.
This bot, fuck this boss.
Those
This is
two.
a
Wait a
terrible, terribly designed bot. Like, honestly, this is one of the worst bosses in all of video game history, in my opinion. Like, literally the only way to consistently damage it is you have to get in, like, a certain spot, and then you just back hit it. And you have both two girls, though. Like, even on single player mode, it's just so fucking annoying. I absolutely despise it. If you're wondering what
You're all out of canned spam.
Yeah. If you're wondering what this background music I inserted when I sped it up was, it was Under Logic from Streets of Rage 2. Specifically, I actually picked up from Datadisc the vinyl record soundtrack for Streets of Rage 2. And I absolutely love it, to be honest. Seriously, Streets of Rage 2 has one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. In fact, Alex, once this part is over, you should really look up some of it.
This is kind of off topic, but you know what that icon looks like?
Which one?
That is one of the tropical fruit flavored Starbursts.
Which one?
The square with the S on it, that is absolutely one of the tropical fruit flavored Starbursts.
I could see it.
And you're all out of them. That sweet, somewhat juicy deliciousness, you're all out.
Well, the reason for that is, in Stage 8, you aren't allowed to use the police car anymore, which is why that one boss is so much more of a pain in the ass. Because when you encounter it before, you can just spam
So you're
the police car.
bribing the police?
Yes?
You're bribing the police Starburst.
No, so what happens is Mr. X has taken over the police. And he's corrupt as hell, and so you're a group of ex-cops going out to stop him. And that police officer who shows up with the machine gun is like the one cop in the force that's left that's actually on your side and wants to stop Mr. X.
So you're paying him with Starburst.
I mean, yes. I mean, personally, I would have done it for Trident Layers, but hey, whatever floats your boat.
Never been fond of that stuff.
I just had to reference the ad.
Not much of a dumb person. I'm not much of a dumb person.
So, yeah. Stage 8 is completed. What did you think?
Okay.
What do you think of Mr. X bringing a machine? Well, what do you think of Mr. X bringing a gun to a fist fight?
I think the fact that he killed you is something significant.
I guess.
Like, if it weren't for your supernatural regenerative powers, he would have been winning.
I mean, that's true, but I digress. Honestly, I feel like this would be a game that you would enjoy playing.
Maybe.
And honestly, I kind of really need to go back and fix the audio syncing in post. And the people watching are gonna be like, whoa, what the hell is he complaining about? Because I've actually fixed it in post. But oh well. Have you noticed, I feel like we talk about editing videos an awful lot on our, videos.
That's because you don't have a very big nuanced editing.
I'm learning.
You have very obvious editing.
Hey, you
The
liked what I
editing
did.
could flow with the video.
Hey, you liked what I did with the jazz music and shit earlier.
Exactly, in the beginning was good. The editing should make things flow more smoothly and make it better to watch. When you have it like awkward jump cut stuff with music that doesn't fit the mood of the sequence, it's not very good.
I mean, what are you still complaining about that X-Files thing 2 parts back?
Speaking of music, I like this, like, yeah, and also I like that, like, kind of almost jazzy sounding, mellow soundtrack at the end there. That was really nice.
And as I said, this game has a fantastic soundtrack. I absolutely love it. If you're wondering, yes, I did input my name as Ass. It's just I just have to. Ass. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that was our very, that was our very strange playthrough of Streets of Rage. It had its ups and downs. We went through, 2 separate co-hosts before Alex and I said fuck it and just finished up by ourselves. But that's okay. Would you say that this playthrough was still worthy of people commenting and subscribing?
I think that if you folks out there think it's worthy of liking, commenting, and subscribing, you should like, comment, and subscribe.
But the question is, do you think it would be?
Tell us what you think. Tell us if it's worthy. Right? Like, I personally think that we should put our faith in our viewers to tell us. And
oh no, I absolutely agree. It's faith in the viewers, and I mean if they, viewer critique and criticism, all that is most important. But I mean, I'm just trying to gauge what you think as well.
I think that it's worthy of their like, comments, and subscription.
So good, because coming soon is a very special upload, a series that I actually surprised Alex with, and I'm not saying anything more than that. That way, if you're watching this sometime in the future, you can be like, "Oh, it's that." But then if you're watching it now, when you see it, you'll be like, "Oh, it's that." You know it when you see it.
If you're watching this in the future, you know what it is.
Alex goes insane. It's beautiful. But anyways, I'll see you then, ladies and gentlemen.